Buenas tardes con todos. Muchísimas gracias por estar aquí con nosotros el día de hoy. Tenemos un webinar muy especial preparados para ustedes. Estamos hoy con SCAD, que es Savannah College of Arts and Design, y con EducationUSA, conversando de cómo conectar los puntos entre diseño y arte y negocios. Entonces, es un tema muy interesante. También, por supuesto, hablaremos sobre las admisiones en esta universidad y cuáles son los requisitos para estudiantes internacionales que están intentando realizar su sueño allá. Recuerden que para tomar beneficio al convenio que tenemos con esta universidad, tienen que postularse al programa de crédito beca, el cual abre el 10 de enero, cierra el 28 de febrero y los resultados salen el 11 de mayo. Les recuerdo que el programa Crédito Beca es una financiación de hasta $50,000 para programas de posgrado en el extranjero de tiempo completo y presenciales. El convenio en esta ocasión que tenemos con Savannah College of Arts and Design es de $15,000 en el valor de la matrícula. Esto es ganado con el promedio de ustedes, entonces hay algunos parámetros que hay que cumplir para ganarse estos $15,000 en la matrícula, pero ya hablaremos de eso más adelante. Cuando tengan preguntas, por favor, diríjanlas en el chat. Con mucho gusto, al final vamos a tener un Q&A y responderemos todas sus dudas. Les quiero presentar a Alexandra Jones Torres. Ella es la directora de admisión de SCAD. Alexandra, thank you so much for being here today with us. We're really excited to hear what you have to share. And without further ado, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, and thank you, everyone. I hope everyone can hear me well. As Bianca said, my name is Alexandra Jones Torres. I'm the Director of Admission at SCAD, and I work with a team of wonderful advisors and assistant directors to advise students from half of the world, pretty much. But we have a big focus in Latin America. We hold the Latin American region very dear to our hearts. And I'm very, very happy to have this opportunity to participate today and to show you a little bit about the university. So SCAD is the Savannah College of Arts and Design, the University for Creative Careers, and I'm just going to go ahead and introduce you officially to the university and what we do. Just so you all know, I am going to shut my video off while I present, but right here behind me, you will be hearing my voice, okay?
I'm driven to create.
To be expressive.
To collaborate with only the best and across disciplines.
The most exciting field to be in is design, because a designer has to think about people, about technology, about the activities that are taking place. It gives you the license to explore and investigate and to try to create a system that enhances life.
All you have to do is create. SCAD's really great at giving me and giving all the students the ability to build things and make things.
We have immersive reality, the latest AR/VR equipment, and we're super proud to say that we're the first creative university to have an XR stage. This is a whole new paradigm for shooting, film, and visual effects.
Well, SCAD's teaching philosophy is built on design thinking. With programs like the Business of Beauty and Fragrance, SCAD students go on to become entrepreneurs and pursue creative careers with top companies around the world.
SCAD does an amazing job at making industry connections and making things available to students that might not be otherwise possible.
Hey, bees.
Hey, SCAD.
Hello, SCAD.
I absolutely love SCAD.
It's been amazing to have SCAD as a touchpad for resources, for inspiration, for people that just really believe in you and will do whatever they can to help you succeed.
I am a designer.
I'm an entrepreneur.
Storyteller. Thanks to SCAD, my future as a creative professional is real. It's happening.
You are the next incarnation of this beautiful planet that needs design, that needs beauty. That needs your mind and your spirit and your energy, your power, your unique voice.
This is SCAD.
1, 2, 3, to graduate as salutatorian here as the first member of my family to attend a college in the US. It's just an incredible honor.
Because of SCAD, I am doing what I really truly love to do. It's been a blessing.
So SCAD is the University for Creative Careers, but what does that mean? We have about 16,000 students from all 50 states and from over 100 different countries. And we offer more programs and specializations than any other art and design university in the world. So it all depends on what you're looking for. We do have Master of Arts programs and Master of Fine Arts. The Master of Arts are 1 year long. The Master of Fine Arts are 2 years long. And anything from industrial design, if you like STEM programs, interactive design and game development, math related, our programs are ranked among the top 10 within the United States and among other art and design institutions. You can see on the screen some of the ranking and accrediting bodies that pretty much back us at SCAD. And with locations in Atlanta, Georgia, Lacoste, France, Savannah, Georgia, and online, SCAD is also a global university. As a graduate student, just like an undergrad student, when you're admitted to SCAD, you're admitted to all of the locations, although you do have to select one campus to start.
SCAD is a global experience. When you're accepted to SCAD, you're accepted to all our locations.
I've had students who have traveled across campuses, and I definitely see a difference in the way they look at the world. Students don't have to re-register, they can move from campus to campus. Where else are you going to get that?
Experience SCAD in the historic streets of Savannah, among the Fortune 100 companies in Atlanta, or online from anywhere in the world through SCAD Now.
The beauty of Savannah campus is the community. Because there's so many people here, it's like a chemical reaction. When you enter the SCAD building, it's very magical. The space is tailored to the discipline, like sound design or visual effects or business.
Atlanta offers multiple opportunities. SCAD has so many different relationships with multiple companies. And so I was really able to get out and intern and really be able to immerse myself in the industry.
You can also experience the beauty of southern France and Lacoste during a quarter abroad.
SCAD has created a beautiful world here. One finds or fine-tunes their process. It is an honor and a privilege for me to be able to spend some time meeting all these amazing students who are our future.
You can start your studies anywhere you choose, then seamlessly study at any other SCAD location, any quarter.
This is a place to teach yourself, to grow, and to really choose your own adventure.
Wherever your SCAD education takes you, you customize your path and your creative career.
And at SCAD, you will have access to unparalleled technology. This technology is actually the same one that you would be exposed in the industry of your choice. Part of the reason is that SCAD is career focused, and I will talk about that a little later. But our facilities allow you to already experience what professionals have to wait years to experience until they get their first job. So you do have pretty much a head start when it comes to using the technology in any of the majors that you choose to study. And that said, we also focus on individualized attention and small class settings in which most theoretical classes are no more than 20 students, and same with studio classes. At the graduate level, as you progress in your programs, the closer you get to graduation, also generally the smaller the classes get. And you will be learning from faculty that are not only amazing scholars and academics, but they also have that industry experience. Like, for example, Melanie Moore, our Associate Dean of the DeSole School of Business Innovation. She used to be the Executive Director of Marketing at Estée Lauder. And mentioning the DeSole School of Business Innovation, for those of you, some of you may recognize the last name, some of you may not. Domenico DeSole used to be the president and CEO of the Gucci Group. Thanks to him, it's said that Tom Ford is who he is. But now he came to SCAD and he donated funding so that SCAD could open the DeSole School of Business Innovation. On the screen, you can see some of the programs that are part of this particular school. This means that through your career process, you already start getting a business focus. And that's because we have discovered, especially at the graduate level, that our students more and more are not necessarily interested in going corporate or working for someone else. They're interested in opening their own companies, in being entrepreneurs. Another example is Chris Gallagher, our chair of the animation department. He used to work at Walt Disney. So this is pretty much the caliber of the faculty that will be teaching you, and that will provide you the best resource to be part of this percentage number in the screen. 99% is our current alumni employment rate, and that has been sustained for the past 4 years. That has been possible not only through the faculty, but also through many resources from the university. One of the highlights of our resources is the SCAD Pro department. SCAD Pro is pretty much an innovation hub and a design hub in which students have the opportunity to work in projects from real life with real companies. You will even have to sign some non-disclosure agreements depending on the project, and you have a quarter to work on these projects. You are able to present these projects to representatives of some of the biggest companies out there, like Hasbro and Google and Uber and Apple and BMW and Delta, some of the examples of collaborations that we've had. One of the really cool things is that thanks to SCAD Pro, we have had about 200 direct job offers for our students. And our students are going everywhere after graduation, both at the undergraduate and graduate level. On the screen, you get just a sneak peek pretty much of where they go. But it's a matter of using all the resources that the university provides to you, because once you start at SCAD, you're not only coming to make a dream come true, and you're not only coming with a passion, you're coming also with a career focus.
My two greatest lessons that I learned from SCAD were learning the structure of the industry and the strong work ethic, but I think you really hone those skills at SCAD.
The idea of collaboration with all majors happens so naturally at SCAD that it really is an outlet of incredible bursts of energy.
SCAD is constantly staying very aware of industry trends and therefore kind of adapting curriculum to play into that and be able to have students be very prepared for real life after graduation.
Just seeing the depth and the amount of detail the students put in, and when you bring in people from all of those different disciplines together, it's really amazing what they can create.
It has brought me immense joy, so many friends, and so much learning, which is, I think, the most important part in a design and a career environment.
SCAD has programs that show continued love and care long after graduation. It's the beginning of a new relationship with your SCAD family, where you have an abundance of resources with career and alumni success, après SCAD, alumni atelier. The possibilities are infinite.
It's that network of support and encouragement, which is so critical to the success of myself and other people coming through SCAD.
We are always top of mind with industry partners. So we connect with productions from Amazon, from Hulu, from NBC, CBS, you name it. These are lifelong relationships that you build here. We will always have your back, and we will always look for ways to continue your success.
Because of SCAD, I got my dream job at Disney,
Nike,
Netflix,
IBM,
Lenovo,
Pixar Animation Studio.
I'll be starting my career at Google.
And that said, if you would like to know more about the university, if you have the opportunity to visit in person, we are open for daily tours every day, even though it's a little redundant. But we also have SCAD days. Now, if you are not able to come in person, you can also visit us via our virtual tour. It's in our website. It allows you to explore the facilities of all of our campuses and get pretty much a taste of the university. And of course, with that, I just want to say, if you want to know even more about the events at SCAD, what's going on, what our students and alumni are doing, what our faculty are doing, stay connected. And, social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, you can contact us via those social media. You can also contact us via email, via our website, our live agent chat. and we'll be happy to answer any questions. Now, with that, I would like to open the floor for any questions that you may have.
Alexandra, perfect. Thank you so much. So I was wondering if you can tell us a little bit about how to connect, art, design, and business for everyone that is, interested in that topic today.
Yes. So one of the misconceptions that we have in Latin American countries is that you will starve and you will not find a job if you studied something related to art and design, right? That's number one. The second myth is that if you're going to study art, you can only study fine arts, like painting and sculpture, or you can only go into design like graphic design, or if you're a little more risque, you can go into architecture, right? There is so much more to design and innovation than these majors. Even though they're great careers, there's so much more. So anywhere from interior design, industrial design, user experience design, which was a program designed in conjunction with Google and SCAD, you really can pinpoint the area of choice. Now, that said, there's also a third myth, which is you're not going to make a living, right? How are you going to do business with it? There's no business, there's no money in art and design unless you're a famous designer already. The reason why I believe that's a myth is because SCAD has a career preparation from day one, especially at the graduate level, because you already come with a certain knowledge, a certain background, and you are just continuing to developing those skills. You're most likely getting a terminal degree within art and design, which is the Master of Fine Arts. We definitely want to provide you with the tools to be able to have a job, make a living. Everybody needs to make a living, and what's the best way to do that than doing something that you're passionate about? So that starts with the resources of the university, of course, everything that is the student support. But when it comes to the business side of it, the creative industries are the second growing industries in the world. Even if you do a quick Google search and you look, for example, for lawyers and doctors and nurse practitioners, there are multiple job opportunities. But if you look in the same browser for user experience designer, sneaker designer, social media strategy, social design manager, it's so much more. So it all depends where you want to get your career, at what level you're looking to get that career. But at SCAD particularly, that business comes in the form of a component in which you will have to study whether a business class, or you will have to collaborate with your faculty. You will have to take internships. Actually, some of our programs at the graduate level have internships as mandatory. Some of them have it as optional, but always encouraged. So that is the best way to incorporate the business side of it. Now, when I say business, I'm not necessarily talking traditionally about accounting or finances or anything like that. I'm talking more about how to market yourself, how to create a business plan, how to know what your work is worth, right? If you're an artist, if you're a designer, you create a product, it's okay, what's the next step? How do you patent it? What are the copyrights? How do you sell it? How do you promote it? All of that is not just marketing, it's business. You are making a business out of what you're doing. You are creating your own brand. And that is the focus that SCAD has for all of our programs.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Let's see. We have a pretty long question here. Let me see. So we have someone saying that they are a graphic designer and illustrator, and they are considering Masters of Arts degrees that offer them the opportunity to work as concept art or visual development. She doesn't see anything specific at SCAD for both, so she's wondering if there's any option to kind of merge those in SCAD. So can we talk a little bit about that, maybe the different kinds of degrees that are available to students?
Yes, so concept art and visual development are actually part of all of our programs too. When we look at design, when we look at art, we don't only look at the skills. We don't only look at the technical skills. We also don't only look at the talent. We look at concept. We look at development. We look at thought process, that of design thinking, and that is embedded in each of the programs. So when you say concept art or development, you have to pinpoint what you mean by that. Okay, if you are referring more towards the traditional conceptual art definition, we don't have a specific program to become a conceptual artist because we do consider that all of our programs are conceptual in a certain way. There's a lot of conceptualization, right? So it's just a matter of pinpointing where your interest is. In terms of, in more general terms, talking about our master's degree, it really is very broad. We have, I believe, 32 different programs. For example, graphic design, but we also have sound effects, film and television. It's not just film and television. It can be sound effects, visual effects, television production, cinema studies. So it's a bunch of branches, right? So we are very specific in our programs. Just like if you're interested in fashion, it's not just fashion design, it's fashion design, luxury and fashion management, fashion marketing and management, accessory design, textiles, right? So it's a matter of exactly that, pinpointing where you want to direct your career, pretty much. I know it's a little bit of a long answer for that, but I hope it kind of guides in the right direction.
No, yeah, absolutely. That was perfect. And then we have another question about language requirements for international students. Can we talk about maybe TOEFL scores, IELTS scores, maybe Duolingo?
Yes. So just to do a brief overview of our admission process for graduate students, you do have to submit an application to SCAD, which is in our website. The application has a cost of $100. And then with that, you get assigned a personalized admission advisor to assist you throughout the whole admission process. We will need the required documents that are your transcript from college, from your bachelor's degree. Even if you have another master's degree, we need your bachelor's degree transcript. We will also need a major specific portfolio. So depending on the program you are applying to, we will give you the guidelines for that portfolio. They're also disclosed in our website. We will need your resume, a statement of purpose, 2 letters of recommendation, and a proof of English proficiency. Now, the proof of English proficiency can be demonstrated in different ways. The most common one are the TOEFL or the IELTS. We do not accept the Duolingo. So for the TOEFL score, we have a minimum requirement of 85 points overall and at least 20 points in each category. So let's say that you have 85 overall, but you have a category under 20 points, that doesn't fulfill the proficiency. Okay, it has to be both. For the IELTS, it's a minimum overall of 6.5. And we have 2 categories in which we require that 6.5 also. And then the other way of, and a few other ways of proving your proficiency are, for example, if you studied your undergraduate program at an institution in which English was the language of instruction and you graduated there, all we need to see are your transcript, your degree, and the profile of that institution and the accreditation of that institution, okay? As a graduate applicant, if you studied high school in English, but then you studied college in Spanish, we still need to see a current proof of English, okay? And then the other proof of English that is very common is if students don't want to submit a TOEFL or an IELTS, or they submit it and they don't have a sufficient score, they will have to take an English placement test at SCAD. Based on that placement test, we will let you know if you have to take English as second language courses prior to your master's degree or simultaneous to the beginning courses of your master's degree, or if you can simply be exempted. So there are quite a few waivers. We will be happy to send them via email if anyone wants them. They're also in our website, so you don't have to remember them by heart.
Wonderful. Thank you so, so much. We have another question about F1 visas and employment opportunities. So usually, students with F1 visas, they can work up to 20 hours a week on campus jobs. So being this a different area of study, what kind of work opportunities on campus can we see for F1 visa holders?
So the policy is the same because it's based on the F1 visa regulations. Students are allowed to work 20 hours per week during the regular quarters and up to 40 hours per week during the summer, which is an off quarter. One of the things is that SCAD does not work with years or semesters. We work by quarter. Each quarter is 10 weeks long. In terms of student employment, there's a myriad of opportunities. You can work from anything general as the SCAD Museum, the admission department as a student ambassador in tours and visitations. You can work at the coffee shops, you can work at the dining halls, but then also there are opportunities that are departmental. So especially at the graduate level, you may have the opportunity to apply for some of the graduate research assistantships, or some of the we offer very few teaching assistant positions, but there are some opportunities for that, okay? Most graduate students, what they do when they are in the regular quarters is they work in something, whether it's related to their department, and that can come in different ways. It all depends on the department. Like, for example, if you're in industrial design, you can get some certifications through the school, through the university, to be one of the technicians for the 3D printers and the laser cutters. So your student employment position can be the supervisor of the laser cutter lab or the 3D printer lab, right? Which is still related to the technology that you will be using. And then the other side of it is that along with student employment during the off quarter, which is the summer generally, students, graduate students particularly, are highly encouraged to find internships. Now, when I say to find internships, it doesn't mean that you have to do it on your own. Once you are a SCAD student, you do get assigned a career and success advisor, which is a personalized advisor to help you with everything and anything related to your career progression. So you can meet with this person, you can tell them what you're interested in, what kind of internships, what kind of company, what location, and they can help you with the research process. Once they help you with that research process, it is up to you to apply, of course, and secure those internships. So the career advisor is pretty much someone who has the expertise in the fields that you are studying, and they can also advise you where to apply for these opportunities, but then it's up to you to actually do the work and apply for them, of course.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We have another question about the translation of transcripts. Is there a specific service that you would like applicants to use? Does it have to be an official translator? Can it be done maybe by like a family friend? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Family friends, family members, cousins, friends, it's a no. It does have to be a certified or official translator. When I say a certified and official translator, it doesn't have to be approved by the embassy necessarily or by a consulate. It just means that this is a person who has professionally studied to be a professional translator, and they are able to sign and stamp and certify that translation, okay? Now, in terms of official versus unofficial transcript, we can receive your unofficial transcript to evaluate you for admission, but if you're admitted, you will need to submit your official transcript as soon as possible. We don't need apostilla, so your documents, especially the transcript, you don't need to send them to any ministry or any governmental process. You just submit them to SCAD directly from the institution that you studied. So that's another thing. If you submit your transcript yourself, it will be considered unofficial. If you have it translated by a certified translator and that translator sends it to your admission advisor at SCAD, that will be considered official. If your university sends your transcript directly to your admission advisor via email, or if you mail it in a sealed envelope to the university, that is considered official.
Wonderful, thank you. And then we have another question about housing for graduate students. Does SCAD have the option of on-campus housing for graduate students, or what is something that usually international students do in that regard?
We do have housing options for graduate students. You can choose to do a quarter in the dormitories or your whole program in SCAD housing. It is pretty much a big mix. A lot of international students choose to stay on campus. A lot choose to stay off campus, okay? So it's really a personal choice. We don't have a preference. We do advise that if you are going to leave off campus, that you do your research, because at that moment, we cannot actively help you find off-campus housing, okay? Just because there are so many variables. We may be able to provide you with some websites, but that's as far as we can go. Now, when it comes to on-campus housing and off-campus housing in terms of the cost, is also very relative. It depends a lot on what your budget for housing is, what kind of accommodations you're looking for. At SCAD, generally, the dormitories are shared. Graduate students do get a little bit of an advantage when it comes to requesting a private bedroom, but it's not something that we can guarantee unless it's under a medical circumstance.
Okay, great. Well, that's really, really good to know. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We do have another question about, let's see. Oh, yes, they are asking about the agreement that we have with Colfuturo, of course. I can touch base a little bit on that, but of course, Alexandra can dive into the details. But if you are selected as a beneficiary for the Programa Crédito Beca, there are two opportunities with the agreement. One is $10,000 from the tuition fee, and the other one is $15,000 from the tuition fee. These are two different, these are basically two different fees because of the GPA that you need to have. So I'm going to have Alexandra touch base a little bit more on that and the requirements to qualify for this agreement.
Yes, so pretty much the requirements are merit-based. So it's pretty much a little bit of a mix. It is a requirement based on your GPA, your grade point average, as well as your artistic abilities. So once you submit all your documents, we will evaluate them. If you can be admitted to the university, to the program of your choice, we will let you know, and we will also let you know if you qualify for these merit-based scholarships, okay? If you do qualify for those, that means that if you're applying from Colfuturo or through Colfuturo also, of course, those awards will be honored, okay? So pretty much is if you have those minimum qualifications, we are offering you those merit-based awards. And that's why it's a difference, because it has two different tiers. And the other thing is that these awards can only be applied towards the tuition cost. So some people look at it a little bit as a tuition reduction. It's not really a discount because we are offering you that award, but it is applied towards the cost of your tuition.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And then we have another question about submitting their art and basically their talent. So I'm assuming the admissions process, of course, statement of purpose, recommendation letters, but how can students show you their talent? Is it via portfolio, website?
Yes, so it's basically with the portfolio. So each graduate applicant is required to submit a major specific portfolio following specific guidelines. And the portfolio is submitted online through a website called Slideroom. We will receive it, we will evaluate it along with the rest of your documents. And then through the portfolio is really, I would say it's primarily the most important document, because that's where you're gonna show, number one, if you actually have the knowledge and skills to be successfully admitted into the program of your choice. Number two, that's where you're going to show if you can actually follow the prompts and instructions to build a portfolio. Obviously, applying to the master's degree level, we do have a high expectation for these major specific portfolios because you already went to college, you already have a background. For students who may be interested in maybe changing fields, or they come from a different background and they want to get a master's degree in one of the programs that we offer, we do encourage to pay close attention to the guidelines of the portfolio. If you feel that you are able to put together that portfolio and that you have the skills necessary, by all means, we encourage you to apply to the master's level. If you look at the guidelines and you're like, whoa, what is this? That's the moment when we would encourage you to apply as a transfer student and not as a graduate applicant.
Great. Thank you so much. Well, it looks like that was our last question, unless anyone else has any last minute things, but I have some good news for everyone. Alexandra will be in Bogota at the BMI fair this weekend. So if any of you are planning on going to that fair this weekend, make sure you look out for SCAD and go ahead.
I'm actually not in Bogota this weekend. I get there on Sunday and I will be there Monday and Tuesday. However, we do have, there's someone from my team, there's a SCAD representative that is in Bogota and will be there this weekend. So if you go to the fairs and you want to have a little bit more of a conversation with a person, just look for the SCAD table or just ask for SCAD. The name of the person who is right there is Maurice. He goes by Mo. So if you show up and you just yell, "Hey Mo, where are you?" you will find him. He will be able to guide you a little more in terms if you have, more detailed questions. Otherwise, if you are interested in setting up an individual meeting with me, it has to be Monday or Tuesday after 7 p.m. I know it's a little late, but I can make it work. And again, I'm the director of admission. I'm also part of the decision makers. I work with the faculty very closely, and we'll be happy to answer more specific, in detail information that I know individual can have.
Thank you for clarifying that. Everyone that's online, it's a really good opportunity to meet with, university representatives in person, ask any questions. So if any of you will be around for the BMI fair, definitely look out for SCAD. And actually one more question did come in. So this person is asking about the GPA. So she's asking if the GPA is based on bachelor's transcripts.
Yes, it is. It's not, even if you have another master's degree, it's not based on master's degree transcript. It's based on the bachelor's degrees.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Alexandra. And would you mind putting your email address in the chat box? We did have another question about how they can set up a meeting with you. So Alexandra's going to put her email address in the chat box. Make sure to write that down and feel free to send her a message if you would like to schedule a meeting with her. Like I mentioned before, it is a really good opportunity to meet with academic advisors, admissions directors, university representatives in general in a personal matter. So if there are no more questions, then I guess this ends our webinar. A todos los que están conectados, recuerden del programa Crédito Beca. Las convocatorias abren el 10 de enero, cierran el 28 de febrero y los resultados salen el 11 de mayo. Entonces, si quieren tomar provecho al Crédito Beca y a convenios como el que tenemos con SCAD, les sugiero que vayan a investigar sobre el programa. Ahí tenemos todas las fechas, tenemos todos los requerimientos, las tasas de interés. Entren a colfuturo.org, pueden ir a programas y luego programa Crédito Beca para ver toda esa información. Alexandra, thank you so much for being here today. It was wonderful to hear all about SCAD, and I hope everyone has a really, really good night, and we will see you at our next webinar.
Thank you so much. I hope everyone has a good night.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.